Hello, welcome back to the reading of the poem of the Man God, written by Maria Valtorta, Volume 3. Chapter 317, Part 2, Leaving Ptolemais for Tyre. Peter continues. He then helps the others to stow theirs, as well as the bags and everything else, balancing the weight and arranging the various items so as to be free to maneuver. And after the objects, he arranges the passengers. You can see that I know how to do it, you bloodsucker. Let go and go to your destiny. And with Andrew, he presses an oar against the little pier to depart from it. When the boat is in the flow of the current, he hands the rudder over to Matthew, saying, "You used to come and catch us when we were out fishing, in order to fleece us properly, and you can handle it fairly well." And he sits on the first bench at the prow, with his back to the bows, to the bows, and Andrew sits beside him. James and John of Zebedee are sitting in front of them, and are rowing with strong, regular strokes. The boat is sailing fast and smoothly, although it has a heavy load, skimming the sides of large ships, from the boards of which words can be heard praising their perfect rowing. Then there is the open sea, beyond the breakwaters. The whole of Ptolemais appears before the eyes of the departing group, as the town is stretched along the beach, with the port to the south. There is dead silence in the boat. Only the squeaking of the oars and the rowlocks can be heard. After a long while, when Ptolemais has already been left behind, Peter says, "However, if there had been a little wind, but nothing, not a breath of it." "Providing it does not rain," says James of Zebedee. It looks very much like it. There is silence for a long time while the men row hard. Then Andrew asks, "Why did you kiss the coins?" "Because those who part always greet one another. I will never see them again, and I am sorry. I would have preferred to give them to some poor wretch. Never mind. The boat is really a good one. It is strong and well built. It is the best one in Ptolemais. That is why I gave in to the demands of the owner. Also, to avoid many questions about our destination. That is why I said to him, to make purchases at the White Garden. It's beginning to rain. Cover yourselves up. You who are in a position to do so, and you, Syntyche, give John his egg. It's time. Much more so, because with a sea like this, nothing will upset his stomach. And what will Jesus be doing? I wonder what he is doing. With no clothes, no money, where will he be now?" "He will certainly be praying for us," replies John of Zebedee. "Very well. But where?" Nobody can say where, and the boat proceeds heavily, laboriously, under a leaden sky. On the gray bituminous sea, in a drizzling rain as fine as fog, and as boring as protracted tickling. The mountains, which after a flat area are now close to the sea, look livid in the foggy air. The sea nearby continues to irritate one's eyes with its strange phosphorescence, and farther away it fades into a hazy veil. "We will stop at that village to rest and eat," says Peter, who rows untiringly. The others agree. They reach the village, a little group of fishermen's houses built on a mountain spur protruding towards the sea. "It is not possible to land here. There is no bottom," grumbles Peter. "Well, we shall eat where we are." In fact, the oarsmen eat with appetite, whereas the two exiles take some food unwillingly. It begins and stops raining alternately. The village is deserted, as if there were no inhabitants in it, and yet flights of doves from one house to another, and clothes hanging out on roof terraces, prove that there are people in it. At last a half-naked man appears in the street, and goes towards a little beached boat. "Hey, man, are you a fisherman?" shouts Peter, holding his hands like a speaking trumpet. Yes. His assent is heard feebly, owing to the distance. What will the weather be like? Long sea shortly. If you are not from this place, I tell you to round the cape at once. Over there, it is not so rough, particularly if you keep close to the shore, which you can do, as the sea is deep. But go at once. Yes, I will. Peace to you. Peace and good luck to you. Let's go then, says Peter to his companions, and may God be with us. He certainly is. Jesus is certainly praying for us, replies Andrew, resuming rowing. But the sea is, in fact, already long, and the waves push and drag the poor boat alternately, while the rain becomes thicker, and a blustery wind joins in to torture the poor people in the boat. Simon of Jonah gratifies it with all the most picturesque epithets, because it is a wicked wind that cannot be used to sail, and it pushes the boat towards the rocks of the cape, which is now close at hand. The boat proceeds with difficulty in the curve of the little gulf, which is as black as ink. They row with difficulty, flushing, sweating, clenching their teeth, without wasting the least particle of strength in words. The other is sitting opposite them. I can see their backs, are silent in the pouring rain. John and Syntyche in the center, near the sailmast. Alphaeus' sons behind them. Matthew and Simon are last, struggling to hold the rudder straight against each breaker. It is a difficult task to round the cape, but they succeed at last, and the oarsmen, who must be exhausted, have a little rest. They consult whether they should take shelter in the little village beyond the cape. But the idea prevails that the master is to be obeyed even against common sense, and he said that they must arrive at Tyre in 1 day. So they go on. The sea calms all of a sudden. They notice the phenomenon, and James of Alphaeus says, "The reward of obedience." Yes, Satan has gone because he did not succeed in making us disobey, confirms Peter. But we will arrive at Tyre at night. We have been greatly delayed, says Matthew. It does not matter. We shall go to bed and we shall look for the ship tomorrow, replies Simon Zealot. But shall we find it? Jesus said so we shall find it, says Thaddeus confidently. We can hoist the sail, brother, remarks Andrew. The wind is favorable and we will move fast. The wind, in fact, fills the sail, although not very much, but enough to make rowing less necessary, and the boat glides, as if it had been lightened, towards Tyre, the promontory of which, or rather its isthmus, is white to the north in the last light of the day. And night falls fast, and it is strange, after so much dullness of sky, to see stars appear in an unforeseeable clear sky, and the great bear shine brightly in its stars, while the sea is illuminated by placid moonlight, which is so white that it seems to be dawning after a painful day, without an intervening night. John of Zebedee looks at the sky and smiles, and he suddenly begins to sing, pulling his oar with his song and modulating his words to the rhythm of rowing. Hail, star of the morning, jasmine of the night, golden moon of my heaven, holy mother of Jesus. The sailor hopes in you, who suffers and dies, dreams of you. Shine, holy, pious star, upon those who love you, Mary. He sings out happily in a tenor voice. What are you doing? We are talking of Jesus and you are singing of Mary? Asks his brother. He is in her and she is in him, but he is because she was. Let me sing. And he starts singing with his whole heart, leading all the others. They thus reach Tyre, where they land without any difficulty in the little port, south of the isthmus, lit up by lamps hanging from many boats, with the help also of people present there. While Peter and James remain in the boat to look after the chests, the others, with a man from another boat, go to a hotel to rest. This has been a reading from the Poem of the Man God, written by Maria Valtorta, Volume 3, Chapter 317, Part 2, Leaving Ptolemais for Tyre. Thank you for listening. I will see you tomorrow. May God bless you, and may peace be with you.